All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Vision CA's Career Talks. Today, in our second episode, we have with us our very own mentor, CA Chirag Makhijani. So, Chirag,
Thank you so much.
uh, thank you for taking out your time and agreeing to this podcast. I feel that there are a lot of podcasts and a lot of content on YouTube surrounding rankers, scores, and everything. And whatever comment sections I go through, I realize students saying, भाई ये तो सभी को पता है कैसे करना है क्या करना है फेलियर की बात करो
Definitely, definitely.
what a person goes through mentally उसकी बात करो उसकी बात ही नहीं हो रही है only
Yes.
success is being celebrated. So here we are two non-rankers, two non-first attempt chartered accountants celebrating failure. Celebrating in the sense, जब एक चार्टर्ड अपना फेलियर शेयर करता है, so that resonates with the student at a different level. So I won't
Yes.
talk much about it right now. It will unfold as the session goes on. ठीक है. So Chirag, over to you. Short intro, and then I'll keep on shooting questions.
Okay, Pruthvi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. It is lovely being a part of Team Vision CA, and I would love to help out the budding CAs which are out there and to take out all the initiatives and the मेहनत हम लोग जो जैसे बोलते करते हैं as we did during our study days. So would also love to help the other ones out there.
Amey.
So hi guys, Chirag Makhijani over here. I'm a recently qualified chartered accountant in November 2020 attempt. Now working in an UK MNC, and that's it. That's my good short intro which I would like to give you about.
Also, Chirag, I want you to briefly touch upon
Yes.
your articleship experience as well. It's something unique in terms of the exposure
Yes.
and everything. Maybe without taking names, but you can, throw some light on it and how it was.
Definitely, definitely. Definitely. I would do so.
All right.
Okay. So I'll start with my journey. I started my CA course after 12th standard and gave my foundation in June 2015. And after that, my IPCC attempt was in May 2016. To be true, I was kind of totally burnt out before the attempt. I was like, I don't want to do or give this attempt right now because it was a completely an exhausting event at that moment. So in fact, I told my mom and dad I don't want to give it, but they were like, "तूने 9 महीने मेहनत की है, कर ले attempt दे दे में." So I was like hesitant enough whether I should give or no. But because of the push and the support and the motivation they gave, I actually gave my attempt. And see, I was lucky enough that I got 201 out of 400 in the group one, and that was completely surreal. And I did not clear group two. I cleared group two in May 2017. But the day when I cleared my inter first group 2000 201 लाके, वहां से सिर्फ एक मोटिव था भाई कि मे 19 में सीए फाइनल अटेम्प्ट बुक हो गया है भाई, अभी सिर्फ उस पर फोकस है. आर्टिकलशिप को साइड में डाल दिया, बोला कि 1 साल है, मजे कर लो, उसके बाद मई 17 से तुम्हारा एक्चुअल फाइनल का पढ़ाई चालू हो जाएगा, तो उसके बाद तो कुछ होने नहीं वाला है. So I had my plans at that time of articleship where I was like, I wanted to do articleship in a big four. So it was a plan that I would do a dummy articleship for 6 months and then go forward and give my attempt in November 16 properly about group 2, clear group 2, and then start with my big four articleship. But that plan completely reversed. And I was like, now what should I do? So one of my dad's friend is a chartered accountant. And his firm is a small firm, but at a very reputed firm in media and telecom industry. So most of the clients over there were from the film industry business. So I have a good amount of exposure regarding production houses. So one of my fields of experience of articleship have been media and telecom. Over in 2017 January, we were having a discussion, my father and me, and he was willing me to tell and say that to me that Chirag, don't you think this practical experience is very much important for you in articleship? So you should shift to your a big four where you'll give more experience and exposure as compared to the. So that is one of the regrets which I have. Not that I did my articleship from a small firm, but after I became a chartered accountant or during the phase of my third year of articleship, I experienced that the exposure which I would have got completely different as compared to a small firm, and that exposure definitely helps out in your interviews and corporate interviews. Prithvi, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Prithvi, I can't hear you.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The experience, it comes out. वो कहते हैं ना, उभर के आता है. So it's not something that is totally
Yes,
correlatable
yes,
कि यहाँ पे
yes,
articleship की तो this is
yes,
the output. ऐसा नहीं है. It comes out. It reflects. Yeah.
yes.
Just to add to you. Yeah.
Yes. See, like yeah, like you have also done articleship from a big four, so you definitely know how to present yourself. Your interpersonal communication skills are at least much better during those articleship days as compared to a small firm guy. And that was a problem which I faced during my interviews, and I did not know how to act in a corporate interview. If that corporate interview would have been a physical one, I would have completely fumbled. However, I got lucky due to the pandemic, everything was a virtual interview. So I could calm my nerves down. Even though there was pressure and everything, but yeah, I would definitely say that practical experience is important and a good amount of exposure is important. And the other thing which a budding CA should do is that he should definitely work on his interpersonal skills, that is his communication skills, his way he acts in a world, because he's right now he's in a professional world. And I don't know about the other side where a person who's doing articleship in a big four, how they train them about effective communication. But one who does it from small firms, they actually don't have an idea of how to go about regarding effective communication, the power of communications, meeting etiquettes, email etiquettes, or anything. So that is one of the things which I would love, and I would try to tell all these foundation and people who are currently doing inter and articleship that how much ever time you have left, no doubt focus on your chartered accountancy. Final is the utmost important thing, but you also need to focus on interpersonal skills, your communication skills, because that is what which is going to take you ahead in your life. And other than that, the degree chartered accountancy, it is a big thing. It is a god. It is like a godlike power which the society gives you. So that's all about my articleship. I did not do what I wanted to do during that, but even though less, I completely focused and I invested 3 years of my articleship, and that too very much in only one thing, and that was my CA final attempt in May 2019.
Amazing. Really appreciate your honesty. Generally we've seen people ki if they become a CA, they tend to whitewash everything. Ki bhai, everything was perfect, everything is top notch. But here I really appreciate you sharing your insecurities during interviews and everything. So that's amazing. So coming to,
Thank you.
so we've covered so far your journey, the beginning, articleship, and your inter. Obviously, now let's come to your final attempt.
So this attempt was kind of special. May 2019, first attempt, motivations on all are high, and I won't lie. I have been thinking about this attempt since the day I cleared my inter group one. It was a 3 years journey which I had completely invested into, and not kidding. That is why that was one of the reasons which I did not take like what I say articleship or transfer during the from a small to a big four, because I was in that mindset that I won't be able to study, I won't be able to cope up with my studies of final. So that is why my main reason was not to take off a transfer was the CA final. So, as you know, our final attempt was kind of an unusual one. We had prime minister elections, so they was going to be delayed, and actually we got a extra 1 month of study leave in that period. So, as usual, like most of the people, I worked hard. I completely submerged myself in my preparations of CA final. I thought I was going to go as a lone soldier in this battle, but I came to know after 1 month of my study leave that I am completely bad at my preparations. I plan, but I execute to fail. And after that, I came to know the shortcomings of my planning regarding how I should plan my studies. And the bad and the worst part was that even if I planned myself, that was not a detailed plan. So there was a problem in execution over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to find an alternative solution over there, and the alternative solution over there came out to be one of my friends who used to be with me during my classes. So, like all the CA final classes, we have done it together. So this guy name is Japnit, and he lives in Hubli. So we both decided that we would tackle our first attempt together. We studied as a team, we prepared as a team, and we executed all the tasks as a team. So our plans of studying, the timetable, everything was in synchronization. So the timing might be different. I study in morning, he was a night guy, but the day's planning was proper. Now the reason I am telling this is because working as a team is like synergies. It's like building team synergy. And there have been days during my CA final where I have been sick. I have not been able to open my books. But even on that days, I have studied 6 hours. Now you'll ask me, how did I do that? I did that by the help of that guy. So we used to do is that if one of us was sick, we used to get on a call with each other, and we used to tell the other guy, don't worry, you just listen, I'll be speaking. And whatever happens, I will take all the questions, I will answer those questions. In fact, any of the doubts which you ask me, I will also try to give you an explanation. And if we are not able to find a solution right now, don't worry, we'll keep the doubt for later, but we'll solve it. So that is how we went about. So the so now the best reason of using this method happened was when we started doing theoretical subjects. So if you see, most of our portion right now in CA final has become theoretical. Costing has got theory, SFM has got theory, law, audit are theories, DT and IDT are also on certain levels theoretical subjects. So it becomes very helpful when you have a person, a companion to study with, and theoretical subjects just flow off. Uh, Over here, I would like to share an interesting story. During our CA final attempt, which was going on, there was a paper of costing which had got postponed because of certain issues, I guess. So I don't remember
Right,
what
I
was the
remember.
issue.
I remember there was some delay. आगे का पीछे किया था. There was something
Yes,
like that,
yes.
right?
So our IDT paper was before our costing paper,
There was
and
some rescheduling. Yes, I remember.
yes,
Right.
yes. So over there, what had happened actually in that thing is that since we had gone so used to on talking with each other on the call and revising the entire subject on call because of the synergy part, we had decided to do the same thing. So whatever practical subjects or so the practical subjects were done on our own. The theoretical subjects were discussed completely and were done properly. So interesting situation over here was that before the IDT paper, our portion was vast. I completely, properly, utterly remember we had 40 chapters to do before our IDT because of the extra chapters which we had due to customs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I, as a person, was meticulous in detailing and having a short book which I used to have where I had completely written down summaries of chapters. So that guy wasn't able to study that day because the portion was so vast and the pressure was also that. And just remember the IDT is the eighth paper. So before that, you've already given 7 papers. So that is also working in your mind, the psychological effects of which paper has gone good and which paper has gone bad. So that was one of the reasons he was not able to study. So I told him, don't worry, I am there. I have the book. I'll start reading from my book. You just do that. And I am pretty sure that it will be helpful to you. So just before the IDT paper, we both studied and we both went and gave the papers. My paper was bad. It was super bad. The
Yeah.
reason it was bad because I was like I did not have a good adequate amount of sleep before the paper. But
Uh,
that guy's paper went phenomenal. It went phenomenal. He scored an exemption, and that is one of the reasons that he got a good amount of marks in Group Two, which helped him to clear both the groups in final. So his score was around about 404, I guess, out of 800. And just imagine he got 64 in IDT.
Brilliant. That
Brilliant.
the 4 in 64 added to
Yeah,
404.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And so my paper was utterly bad. It was utterly bad. I was devastated. I came home and I was like, I don't want to give the costing paper. It's done. But then, as you say, he repaid me the favor. He taught me costing. He taught me costing for literally 1.5 days. I am not kidding. After the IDT paper, I came home. I was about to cry, and he was like, "You're not gonna cry. We are going to be on call the entire night, the next day, entire day, and I am going to teach you costing. I am going to give you important points which you are going to do so that you can get at least an exemption in costing, which will help you in Group Two." And actually, that only happened. We were on the call entire day. We talked and we gave the paper of costing, and the role reversal happened. I scored more in costing than him. But however, I was unlucky. I did not clear my May final attempt, May 2000 attempt, 19 attempt. But he cleared, and I was super happy. I was completely delighted. So yeah, that is kind of a unique experience which I had.
This is something I'm hearing for the first time. I mean, even when we were planning for this session, I wasn't aware कि ऐसा कुछ किया था you guys, and I've never even heard this, by anyone कि एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले पूरा रिवीजन तुम लोग कॉल पे करते हो, एक दूसरे को करवाते हो ऐसा.
Yeah, that actually happened because of the synergies we built and
Wow.
the amount of comfort level we built in the past 4 months.
Wow, this
Because
is, yeah.
we thought of tackling the situation in an entire innovative way. We both sucked at theory, so
This
we
is,
had to come out
yeah.
with an innovative
Yeah,
way.
this is something new. I don't know whether I would recommend this to everyone. This actually totally depends on your understanding with your study
Yes,
buddy, study
definitely,
partner,
definitely,
and
definitely.
yeah, yeah, something different. Wow,
It is kind of
amazing.
different. I will
Yeah.
tell you one experience which I had right now. So recently, one of my mentees was talking to me about how should I go regarding my study leave which I have before my exams. So I actually shared him my plan, what I actually did over there, and to my quite of understanding, he was like, I pretty much agree with you. I was also trying to do the same thing, but I was able to find the partner. So I was like, are you trying to find the same partner? Then what are the criteria which you're looking for? He like, I'm looking at from the same city. I'm like, CA final is a pan India exam. You can find a partner in any of the states or any of the cities which are there in other states. So I actually linked them up with one of my mentees who's got the attempt in the same attempt as he's got, and
Yeah,
I
that
have
makes sense.
told them to tackle the issue. I have told them to tackle that issue together now.
That's amazing. All right, so now we've reached your first attempt of May 19. So tell us the story after the results. What mental toll it took on you? That is the main theme of today's podcast, and how you
Yes,
dealt with it, the societal factors, doubt on yourself,
definitely.
everything. Cover it all. Yeah.
So as I said, I had been investing 3 years in this attempt, and this thing which you see, I guess so. This thing was like I actually was kind of hoping that I would pass because of the 6 months of preparation and all that stuff. But after I saw those four-letter words of fail, I was completely shocked. I was numb on the day when I saw my results and I saw fail. Uh, I did not. It did not hit me at that time. That day went quite normal. The other day I got up as usual. I had to go to my office, and That is when it hit me. That is when it hit me. And after that, in even in the office, I was चुप चुप सा रहता था भाई. मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, मैं चुप चुप सा रहता था. एक दो दिन मोटिवेशन आया रिजल्ट के बाद कि भाई चलो पढ़ना शुरू करना है, दोनों ग्रुप दे सकते हैं, सब कर सकते हैं. और मैंने चालू भी किया. आई थॉट कि लेट्स टैकल द सब्जेक्ट्स व्हिच आई लव द मोस्ट. और this time it was completely different, mind you guys. I am telling you it was completely different because in May 19 attempt I was working in a team. Now I had to work alone because that guy had already passed. So this was a quite different experience for me because I was so used to working in a team for my attempt. So this was different. I tried, I started it, and I could not do it. आई वॉज लाइक दोनों ग्रुप दे देंगे, नवंबर में फाड़ देंगे, सब सोचा. बट भाई पहले 5 दिन में पूरी फुस्की निकल गई. बुक खोला, आंख में से आंसू आने लग गए. एंड फिर उसके बाद हिम्मत ही नहीं हुई पढ़ाई करने की. सितंबर में बोला कि भाई अभी काम छोड़ते हैं. और एक्चुअली दिस ब्रेक विच आई हैड टेकन, it was for myself. It was not for studying. It was not keeping in mind my November attempt that कि मेरा November में attempt है. It was for myself.
Makes sense.
I was actually in a proper depression. How you used to define a proper depression? I used to keep quiet. I did not know what to talk about. All the time I used to only think about my attempt. मेरे को पेपर याद आता था, मेरे को क्वेश्चन पेपर दिखता था, मेरे को मेरे मिस्टेक्स दिखते थे. एंड मैंने उसके बाद मेरा जब रिजल्ट आया था उसके बाद मैंने मेरे पेपर्स भी मंगाए थे. एंड आफ्टर आई सॉ माय पेपर्स मुझे और बुरा लगता था कि मैंने ये एक्चुअली क्या कर दिया भाई. मतलब इतना सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन, हाउ डिड आई मिस इंटरप्रेट इट और मिस अंडरस्टैंड इट एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. So I had completely submerged myself into this small world of mine where, if you want to say it, it was just me and my depression. मैंने अपने आप को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करने के लिए, जो लोग एक्चुअली टर्म इट आउट एज एस्केपिज्म फ्रॉम द डिप्रेशन, आई completely went on a overhaul on Netflix, Amazon, and Hotstars because, to be true, I did not have the courage to even talk to my parents. Like, I will tell you an incident where my parents were actually worried about me, like what is happening with me. But I told them I need some time. Give me some time. I need to sort this issue out on my own. So please just let me have this time. I started with a plan to how to overcome it because पहले 14-15 दिन तो मैं इतना कुछ सोच ही नहीं पा रहा था. फिर उसके बाद पता नहीं कहाँ से एक चिंगारी लगी और आई वाज लाइक कि लेट्स थिंक ऑफ व्हाट शुड वी डू एक्चुअली इन दिस थिंग अबाउट. एंड I started journaling.
Awesome.
I started journaling, and it was a very difficult phase at that moment. So I used to journal every day. And there was a time where I used to have so many bad thoughts, the overthinking and all that stuff. I was like, now what should I do? So that 24 hours of journaling went to 12 hours. That went to 6 hours. And it so on went to 3 hours, 2 hours, and 1 hour. There was even a time, I remember a day when I used to journal every 15 minutes.
Wow.
That was the amount of problems I was having because there was this situation in front of me and I had no solutions. So I needed to keep myself sane. I wanted to kill the overthinking part. So that is why I was like, let's start journaling. It will somehow or the other help you out.
Amazing.
So I will give you the solution. What happened was that I started journaling, and after I was journaling, it actually helped me out. It did not happen in a day or a week. It happened after a month. After a month, I started seeing better changes within me. And after that, after I continuously journaled and for months, it became better. It actually became better. Between that, I also started practicing meditation. I know it's a very difficult task for people, but people do need to meditate. If they actually want to keep themselves sane, they do need to meditate we'll not get into the details of how meditation works and all that stuff. It depends upon person to person, but I would advise you to meditate because that's very important. And one more other thing, which mistakes I made, the regrets which happened by me during that time where I was in a complete depression, I was in contact with nobody. I actually want to say to people, please do not go in that stage. That is a very dangerous stage. If not possible, to talk to your parents, or if you are feeling that I have failed them by failing my CA final attempt, they will look down upon me, and you think that your parents would be like that. No, bro, or no, nothing like that. Your parents love you by all your heart. My parents do. I know that they have supported me, they have motivated me. So please share your facts, your situation, your circumstances, and it is utmost important to fight depression. Depression is a thing which cannot be fought alone. It needs a person, a close confidant, if I want to keep it in those words, and you need people around you when you're in such state. And if a close confidant, I mean to say a person who's understanding your situation, not a person who is like, अरे यार ये तो पूरा टाइम डिप्रेशन की बातें करता रहता है या पूरा टाइम ऐसी बातें करता रहता है जिससे मूड खराब होता है, वो बोलते हैं ना वाइब खराब हो जाती है, लोग बोलते हैं. तो वो इम्पोर्टेंट है करके कि वैसे टाइप के लोग नहीं चाहिए तुमको. तुम्हारा बुरा टाइम चल रहा है एंड तुमको ऐसे टाइप के लोग चाहिए जो तुमको समझे.
नॉन जजमेंट
बहुत, या if you want to put it that way, non-judgmental people, or even if people are there who judge you, but even after judging they are supporting you, that's whom you want.
If that's getting the job, then that's fine.
Yeah. So it was a very difficult stage. Around about after that, I got better by October 15th, and then let's begin regarding my second attempt.
So go on. That's fine.
Okay. So my second attempt, I hardly studied for a month. The reason why I did that was that I was pretty confident about my preparations, which I did in my first attempt. And I went with the group which I was completely, as you say, easy with, and the one which I was comfortable with. So I was completely comfortable with group 2. I did that, and I passed in that group. And there were two things which, after my attempt, when I failed, was that the papers in which I failed, I wanted to score an exemption in. And the papers which I had difficulties in doing so in group on my first attempt. So the papers were in group 2 were IDT and costing. I scored an exemption in both of them, and I knew that I was only giving group 1, but I was very happy with my marks. After I saw that I had scored exemption in IDT as well as costing, I said that yes, I have achieved my target, and I was super proud of it. And that is what I did myself. To motivate yourself from such failures, you need to have targets, and I kept that for me. I did not have a target of getting an exemption in all 4 papers because I knew it is a very difficult task, and you know how checking is. But I promised myself that this 2 subjects, IDT and costing, I need to score an exemption, and I scored. So to motivate yourself after a failure, try to keep targets. They are definitely going to help you out.
Amazing. So over here you can see Chirag's story. He had a study partner and he cleared. So this happens with a lot of us. We have a group of friends and you are the only one who's left out. Most of them have cleared. So this happened with me as well. So in my office, I think for me, so even I am originally from Chirag's attempt of May 19, and then I cleared in November 19. So in May 19, our office had the highest ever passing percent. I think it was 80% or something. Like sab log clear.
That is astonishing.
Yeah, and there were rankers and everything. वो पूरा अलग ही story है. So I felt so depressed. कि मतलब as a person, I was pretty confident of myself as in terms of being a student and in terms of scoring. And when such things happen, there's a lot of self-doubt, criticism, yes. Not direct criticism, yes. But
indirect criticism.
Passive.
The way they make their gestures and the way they subtly tell you that you are not up to the
you can
society's
you
mark.
can see you can see a clear change in behavior from people,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Not close friends, but acquaintances and everyone.
yes,
And that's pathetic, and it sucks, to be honest, that feeling. And when you clear, the behavior is totally different, but they need to understand that I was a human being before, I
yes,
am a human being even right now. The only difference has been that I was able to clear a particular exam, so that cannot be a benchmark of a person. A person is
definitely,
much more than that. You need to understand.
definitely.
So CA field, in the field as a student, we narrow down our perspective of the whole world and the paradigm so much that you know you lose out on the bigger picture. I know a lot of people who have dropped out and are doing amazingly well. So I'm not so the
Yes,
point I'm trying to put over here is your friend or your colleague or your relative, he's a he's your friend first, your relative first, and then he's a CA student, and then he's a CA. You need to understand that. uh,
yes,
and there are a lot of people who are yet to come out of this mindset. So that is our appeal.
yes,
We look at the person as a person,
yes,
so also a important point that has been put across by Chirag regarding journaling. So in journaling, what happens is you are in a state before that, when like Chirag, you are depressed, right? So you
yeah,
need someone to talk to, but you are hesitant to reach out to. So there's this zone of isolation, loneliness.
yes,
So where do you pour
yes,
it all out? Where do you express yourself? So the entire
yes,
emotional baggage is being released through journaling, through the book, whatever you write down. You feel a sense ki boj hat gaya kande se, right? And that
yes,
that clears out space and creates more room for more possibility for a fresh beginning. So
yes.
that's where journaling came in. And then coming to meditation, so uh, the जितना भी बोला कम ही है, right? So
It's actually true.
yeah, it's a game changer. So I'll be honest over here again. So I'm a huge fan of meditation and yoga, but what's happening is thoda I'm stuck in the bookish zone. I'm yet to implement it full fledgedly, the at the levels at which I want to personally implement it and
Yes,
integrate it in my daily routine. So I need to fix my sleep cycle and everything, and I want to put it
yes,
across some time and do it. So ऐसा ना हो कि practice what you preach. So that's the reason I'm putting
yes,
this disclaimer. So I am a huge propagator of meditation, but I am saying that I'm yet to full fledgedly implement it. So Chirag, any suggestions on any audio clips or any particular practice that you can lay down, so we can put it in the link as well later on, so students can directly use it.
yes, yes. So what we could do is that there are multiple apps which are there. So I'll be true to you. I am not a big fan of apps. I have tried it. They say that you can meditate while you're traveling to work or you're traveling somewhere or you're just doing nothing. But there is always a comfortable situation in which a human being can meditate. It could be the way you have to try and test it out. It is like trial and error methods. So for me, meditation is completely laying down, and then it's just completely close your eyes, let your mind wander. It is fine. It is going to wander, and because you have so many thoughts, it is going to wander. But let it wander, and then after a time, when you completely have awareness that your mind is wandering, and you try to stop that thoughts to wander, you could actually have some kind of control over your body. So before, what I used to do is that what I did was, when I used to lay down, my thoughts used to wander completely. Then after that, I came up with the plan of having focus on each and every body part of mine. So
Ah,
I used to start from my head, go till my toe,
hmm.
and between I used to have a complete focus on each and every body part.
Right. So
That what
yeah,
helped.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I'll
yeah,
just complete and then you can add a
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So after that, when I did that, this helped with my focus and productivity. Other thing, what was that after it completely did that, I was completely normalized and I you started meditating. Now the main stage over here is to meditate is to completely have a blank mind, and that is very difficult to achieve. But what you could do over here is that you could actually use certain chants. Like I used to use certain chants, and when I started using those chants, I used to go in a state of mind which was like, if you want to say, somewhat like an hypnotist, if you want to say. So that used to help me to put myself in that state of mind where I used to completely blank out for a second or so, and I used to feel that I have reached somewhere which is completely different and not on this world. And after that, I have seen a multiple benefits of meditating, and I really don't need to state what are the benefits of meditating. Everybody knows that. So would definitely ask the people out there to at least start today. I know it is a difficult task to master, but you can start. You can start.
So Chirag, what you're pointing
Yes,
out now, the whole process, the moment you said lie down, I was sure it was you're talking
yes,
about Yog Nidra. So what you're talking about
yes,
in terms of
yes,
focusing on parts and everything, that is Yog Nidra. So I'll put down some links. I have a couple of good
definitely.
ones.
Yeah,
I keep recommending them to people. Right.
yeah.
So then
And
coming, yeah, yeah. So then,
no, before Prithvi moving forward, I have a point over here which you stated regarding journaling. You stated that I will just try to state out one thing which I also observed and why I started journaling. Before, if I had any confidant, I used to could share with them. There are multiple point of views of way you can look it out. There are people like you already have people in your life. For example, your family is always there to listen to you out. But I want to state out here is that a human being who does not even have a courage to face himself will not be able to face any other human being. So that is what I was facing during my failure. It was not that my parents were not there to support me. It was just that in my eyes I was not able to face myself. That is why I was not able to face other human beings.
sense of
So
self worth was very low.
yes, sense of self worth was completely destroyed because of what actually went through the mind. It was completely destroyed. So my advice to all the people out there would be, if it's possible, even after a failure, try to keep that sense of self worth so that you could actually come out and talk about it and talk to the people whom you are close to, your close ones, your relatives, your friends, whoever it they may be. But you should have that sense of self confidence in you to face yourself. If you're able to face yourself, then you'll be able to tackle your depressions, your stress, your tension. So just try to keep that self worth.
Amazing, amazing. Very well put, Chirag. So you beautifully explained how once you came out of the, I think 15th of October, and then you
Yeah.
aimed on your
Yes.
aimed on the subjects that you're comfortable with, and then
Yes.
coming to the final attempt, final round.
The final attempt, the most unique attempt anybody or any CA student is ever going to face. I'll say that it is similar to the attempt which we are going to have right now, but the
Let's
aspect
not
over
get
here,
into it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
aspect which over here is kind of different because institute kind of postponed it multiple times. Uh, Before I had already planned my attempt that the way I had to study and all that stuff, but due to the pandemic which came out and they had to postpone the exam completely, I was not in a mindset to actually give the attempt in me, to be true, because
Okay.
I was completely paranoid at that time and I was not feeling safe to go out of my house or my society to give the attempt. So I completely at that very moment decided that I will not be giving my attempt in May 2020, even though it was postponed multiple times. I said that once the situation gets better in a couple of months, I will be giving my attempt. So that is how one of the ways I tackled the part where there was an uncertainty. So see, an uncertainty in your life creates panic around you, and it creates panic around the close ones of you. So if you could just, I observed a lot during these times is that there was a lot of uncertainty my friends who were giving both the attempts and who had their first attempt in May 20 were completely charged by saying, "अरे हमारा first attempt है, हम तो ऐसे ही दे देंगे, वैसे दे देंगे." But due to this pandemic and the uncertainty, it created a lot of stress, tension. They were completely, as you say, saturated, and it was a kind of a tough time. So I completely avoided that situation and I said, no issues, एक attempt delay होगा, चलेगा, अपन सीधा November 20 में attempt देंगे. God was good. Attempt completely got scrapped. Gave my attempt in November 20. Now, coming to November 20, I had taken my break from my work and all that stuff, articleship and all that stuff which I was doing. And during September and October, I became a mad Twitterati. I started following all those Twitter trends like mad. I followed everybody who was there on Twitter who was stating that what is going to happen on exams. Every
Exams
day,
may be delayed. Exams
yes,
may happen. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So every day I used to actually put around about 1.5 an hour on Twitter and on that possibility of whether the exams will happen or no. Luckily, the exams happened, and I was thankful to God that exams happened. Uh, I'll tell you something which was interesting at that very moment. What happened was that I had told each and every friends of mine whom I was discussing whether the exams would happen or no, and I told them if ICI removes the admit card and they are pretty sure that if they have removed the admit card, then I'm pretty sure that I'll stop following these Twitter trends and I'll just focus completely on my studies. On November 2nd, I remember this date very clearly. November 1st or 2nd, I guess so, they removed the admit card. And after that, November 3rd to November, I guess so, 30th, I just completely focused on my exams. So just because I had practiced how to focus when it was important, that was this advantage and the benefits which I reaped right now and reaped during those November attempt. And luckily, God was gracious. I scored. And yeah, one more thing over here. One of my important subjects, law. I targeted that I will score an exemption, and I scored an exemption over there. So thank you, God, for making me a chartered accountant.
Amazing. Amazing. Really, really honest review, you would say. Honest journey, no sugarcoating, straight
Not at all.
facts. खराब
Not at
हुआ है
all.
तो हुआ है, ऐसा हुआ है तो हुआ है. This is something we are
Yes.
looking out for always, in terms of content and everything. So कभी कभी क्या होता है, people keep telling me कि why are you not putting up a lot of videos, why are you not doing this, but unless I'm totally sure कि this is something we need to do, I'm not doing it. Else तो everyone knows यार, study mat करो, ये करो, वो करो, वो सबको पता
Yes.
है. So
Yes.
this is something I'm looking out for every time, and it was
And
really
I
amazing.
want to state one more thing. Kudos to you, Prithvi, for starting this initiative. This initiative is going to become very big, and you know that. And I've also been seeing the amount of efforts which you're putting in this. So thank you so much, Prithvi, for starting this brilliant idea. And I hope that you take this initiative to new heights, and all the mentors which are there with you will definitely put in those efforts, and we could actually take this initiative to new heights. So, but
Let's
our guru, our whatever you say, he's our mentor. He's our mentor. He's the one who's initiated this brilliant idea. So, guys, you should be very thankful to Prithvi. And I also want to personally thank you, Prithvi. Thank you so much, Prithvi, for this lovely initiative which you've taken. It is
thanks.
actually something which is completely brilliant, out of the box. We know that there are multiple teachers out there, and they have also given their chartered accountancy and all that stuff, but a recently cleared chartered accountant knowing the situations which is gone through are much more relatable to a student, and we bring a level of connect with them because of the same age and the same mindset and thought processes we have. So thank you so much, Prithvi, for this initiative. Kudos to you.
Thank you so much, Chirag. It's a team effort, I would say, collectively, be it you or all the 155 other mentors. And I am pleased to see that there are other organizations out there
You
replicating
become a
the.
little, you
Huh?
become a little emotional, Prithvi.
No. I'm not. So I'm also pleased to see that there are other organizations replicating the exact same model, and it's. I don't know whether I should be shocked or I should be feeling proud, but ठीक है, we anyway we won't be catering to the entire fraternity, so let them take some of our load. I look at it that way, but we need to keep delivering. We need to keep doing the
Definitely,
good work, and thanks to you as
definitely.
well. Also, an important announcement I would like to make today with the recording of this podcast. So, Chirag has proposed something really unique to be done. So, mentoring and all, we are focusing on study part and the planning part and everything. So, what Chirag is proposing specifically, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling depressed, obviously he's not a clinical psychiatrist or psychologist, obviously, but if you're feeling low, if you want someone to talk to, if you're feeling sad, I'm giving out Chirag's contacts below the video, and I'm also creating a separate Telegram group where you can directly connect with him. So this is something we are hoping to deal with failure and the setbacks that follow after it. Let's see how it goes, and I'm very confident that with Chirag's initiative and with our whole platform and your support, we are going to make it a huge hit. Okay, thanks again, Chirag. Amazing session.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome. Prithvi, I would like to share a certain instances which we like to talk about
Yes.
over here regarding the initiative Team Vision has started. So, guys, over here we are planning something completely different. So, just don't think that we are only going to focus on your CA background. It is not necessary that your CA background and your failures are the reasons of your mental health problems. There are various multiple issues which are the root causes which in fact affect your entire life. So over here, I would like to share one of the stories which one of my mentees shared with me, and the solution I tried to give to her. So I'll just a second. I'll just bring it up over here. Uh, so one of these mentees which I had was an inter mentee, and she was going through a very tough phase. So she said to me that 2020 was not a best year for anybody because of the ongoing pandemic. And by the end of 2020, we started seeing the rise of cases due to the second wave of coronavirus. And she stated to herself that 2021 was going to be her year. She told that he at the start of the year she made a resolution that however 2020 went, I want 2021 to be my year. But sadly, that was kind of not very much how it went out for the first 4 5 months. She said to me that she gave her exams in November, and her sister's marriage was also going on side by side when the results were going to come out. She did not clear. The marriage was there, so she had to act completely normal, even though she was not in a state to do so. And after that, months of March and April came out, and those months were completely devastating for her family. She lost quite a few good souls which were close to her during those months. And guys, we are in such a stage where you don't have to completely fixate with your professional life. Your personal life matters a lot too, and most of the problems which you have are maybe of professional and personal both, but problems anywhere over here, be it a personal problem, for example, a COVID situation in your house may be a personal problem, and that could actually affect your professional life. I have seen many of my colleagues, even Pruthvi has seen many of his colleagues who have actually seen situations due to COVID, which are actually personal problems, but they are affecting their entire life over here.
Right. It's all interlinked. Right.
It's all interlinked. So we over here are trying to state that you don't need to come to us with your professional problems. CA is just a part of your life. Your life is a much bigger thing. So you could come and talk to us about anything, anything, be it personal, be it professional. You could just come talk to us. So that is why we've kept the name of this initiative as Talk on What's Your Mind. Uh, After that, she told to me that she tried to overcome it, and what she did to overcome was that she asked everybody around her to go away. She wanted to go in that lone, secluded place where people go and hibernate for a month or so. And she tried and tried and tried to overcome that thing, but she could not. And after 2-3 months of seclusion, she felt that it is time now to come back out of my hibernation and talk to people about. But she was yet not able to do so. So the other day I had a chat with her regarding the same, and she told me this entire thing, okay, entire situation, entire circumstances, and I was shocked. I was shocked because that person has courage, and I want to salute that person because to share such things with your mentor who is completely unknown to you, a completely stranger, and come and share those things. I want to give her a big salute. So I want to thank you that you came forward and you talked. More power to you. And the solutions which were very necessary for her were to, I told her that you journal only about bad things. I want you to start journaling about good things, which are very much necessary. Journal about not only bad, but also good. And that's how you will try to have a positive mindset. There were a couple of more things which I told her, but that would be getting into too much detail. That is not the part of it. So we over here on Team Vision CA would love to hear from you and would love to listen to you, because all in the end what you want is that you need somebody to listen. Don't try to get away from the world and don't try to think as if nobody's there in the world. We people over here are there for you. Whenever you're feeling low, come to us. We'll talk to you. We'll try to help you out. So we would love you guys to take this initiative ahead and help us to get successful in this initiative.
Awesome, Chirag. Thank you so much. I think it's good
Thank
to
you.
call it
Thank
off.
you.
Yeah, thanks a
Yes,
lot.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely,
let's keep
definitely.
doing amazing things together. All right.
Yes, Prithvi.
Become a part of
Yes.
Vision CA family today. I'll share the link at the bottom. Thanks, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you.
Two great boys.